Good morning. It feels like it's been a long time since I drew anything with marker pens. I've been working in watercolour mainly recently. Watercolour and some oil painting. So I thought it was time that I just used my marker pens again and got back into doing that. Because you've got to mix it up and do different things sometimes. Because otherwise I'll get bored of doing the same thing all the time, you know? So today I'm drawing a character that is kind of based on a comic I drew several years ago. I did a sort of vampire version of Red Riding Hood, and I had plans at the time to do sort of vampire themed versions of lots of classic fairy tales and children's stories. And I still might do that because it was a really fun project. And I did like how it turned out at the time, but it's been a few years now and I don't really like that comic anymore, and I think I would want to redraw it. So I'm drawing this character based on that comic that I drew all those years ago. But I'm also drawing it for EpicCon. EpicCon is a comic convention in Germany, and if you're watching this video on the day that it gets uploaded, then that's where I'll be, right now, as you're watching this. Obviously, if you're watching it in the future, then I'm not there anymore, sorry. But if I saw you there, then awesome, I'm glad I saw you there. I've never been to this convention before. I've actually never been to the town that it's in either. I just sort of applied to be a vendor there on impulse because, I don't know, really. I guess I just had a really good time doing it at events last year, so I started just applying to everything that came along. And so now I'm going to EpicCon in Germany, and I'm really nervous about it, to be honest. I guess I just always think that everybody else there is going to be way more experienced and a way better artist and, you know, the usual stuff that everybody worries about. So, I guess I'll tell you some more about what I'm actually doing on the paper here. I used the Copic drawing pen. I really love the Copic drawing pen. It is very, very similar to using a dip pen and ink. It's not quite the same, but it's very, very close. The only downside to the Copic drawing pens is that they're not waterproof. They are alcohol proof because they're made to be used with alcohol-based markers, but you cannot watercolour over them. So when doing this line art, I really had to know that I was going to use markers rather than watercolour when I started drawing. And then I did use markers. I used my Marvy and Deleter Neo Pico markers. They're just brands that I've used for a long time. They've appeared in a lot of my videos. The big box of Neo Pico markers on the side there is actually really old now. I should probably replace them. A lot of the colour swatches on the tops of the pens have faded over the years and have become like the wrong colour. But I know which numbers are which colours now because I've learned it over the years, so yeah, I guess I can work with it. One day I'll get better markers maybe. I do have some Copic markers, but I don't know. I'm just more comfortable with the Neo Pico ones. This style of art that I'm doing right now, the sort of simplistic single character in one colour, is what this is the type of artwork I'm offering for the $50 reward tier on my Patreon. So that's a new tier that I only launched recently, and I've gotten a couple of commissions through it. There's videos of those artworks as well. But for the base price, I will draw you or your character or fan art of a character of your choice in this style where it's just line art and then maybe one colour. Because I can do these, you know, for the money, essentially. But if you would rather have a full colour portrait or, you know, a full watercolour portrait, like the other examples I have on my channel, then we can negotiate the extra price for that. Just send me a message, let me know. I'm always willing to talk about it. Also on my Patreon page, there are art tutorial videos. I've only just started making them, so there aren't many yet, but they are much slower than the ones I have on YouTube, and I talk in more detail about what I'm actually doing and explain various techniques and things. I also put on screen pictures of the actual supplies that I'm using, so the exact brand of paper, the exact pen I'm using, the exact colours of paint, and so on. So if you want a really, really detailed look at my art and how I create it, join the $10 reward tier on my Patreon. Other than that, I don't think I have much left to say. I hope you're all having a good weekend. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!